We're here in the field with our Takeuchi. Ready? Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of our How to Oil Change series. Continuing it on here with our Takeuchi TL10 V2. This thing will do it all. It's high flow. You've got the cab air conditioning. You've got the auto connect, right? Just by the push of the button, you're gonna hook in and get your bucket and attachments on and ready to go during your job. Buddy's gonna take care of this job like the professional that he is. So you can get this oil change kit at shop.equipmentshare.com. This is the 500-hour oil change kit. Scrub through on the bottom, skip ahead to the section that you've always wanted to see and need help with. Buddy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. All right, so what do we got going on here?
All right, so right here we're on the rear end. We got a 19 millimeter bolt that we're gonna be undoing. And then we got our, right here, we got our suction hose. So what we're gonna do is try to prevent any oil being spilled on the ground or inside the machine, and we're gonna try to be as clean as possible. Well, the reason why I do this little concoction.
Is this custom, this concoction?
This is a little custom.
All right, I like it.
I've had a couple of experiences where I've had hot oil go on my hands when the machine's running. This speeds up the process of doing an oil change. It speeds it up by a lot. And you'll be able to, instead of waiting 45 minutes to do an oil change, this cuts it down to about 25 minutes.
Hey buddy, those look extra loose already. Did you cheat?
I did. I broke them loose a little bit before we started. I loosened up the radiator hose, so when we open it up, it opens all the way.
Yeah, I can tell. Usually when we open up these radiators, we get a bit of a kink from the hoses.
Yeah.
All right. What size socket is that?
That's a 17.
Nice.
One of the things I like to do when you take off bolts, make sure you put them back where they go. So one, you won't lose it, and two, you won't have extras or you just lost the bolt.
That's a great tip. First tip of the day, put the bolts back. Nice, okay, so I see it auto draining, and then what are you doing now?
I'm pumping it out. I'm pumping the oil out, so it's a lot safer for the tech or for the person doing it at home. You won't have any oil on your hands, any hot oil. If there's any spillage, it'll be a clean and easy job. You want to give it a little ventilation, just enough so
it draws.
Yeah, it draws and it doesn't blow any rings or anything like that, cause any issues.
Cool.
I'm just gonna clean it off and then double verify. This would be probably the quickest way to check if we're empty. That oil's super clean. That's nice. So somebody's been keeping up on their services. We're done. We're done sucking up the oil. It's completely done. Right here, all we got to do is get underneath here, make sure when we take off the hose, we clean off any excess, just to make sure that there's no we like to keep it we like to make it cleaner than when we got here. And that's it. Yep. Make sure you clean it. Looks nice and new. And there you are. So while we're in the back, before we fill up our oil, we're going to check our belts. We're going to double verify that we don't have any cracks, we don't have any wear and tear on it. It's a safety issue. So we're gonna check it. Everything seems nice. Everything seems, I don't see any oil spills. I don't see anything inside. We're good. Next step before we start changing the filters, we're going to just change the air filter. Since we're right in here, before we tighten everything up and close everything up, we're just going to change the air filter.
Man, that gets dusty fast, doesn't it? Depends on the job site, but
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we got a brand new air filter.
So
inner filter.
Inner or primary?
Inner. This is the inner. This is the primary.
Okay.
Looks still brand new.
Yep.
We don't have any. Doesn't have any dust on it, so we're still good.
That's the easiest filter to do.
Yeah.
But they're all easy when you're a pro like you, buddy.
So now we're gonna finish bolting this on.
I love your magnet socket holder.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just don't forget it, or else you're gonna have you're gonna forget. There we go. So one of the things we're gonna do is we're gonna open the cab. The bolts on those are 15/16. I'm gonna use a ratchet to break it loose, and then use an electric ratchet to take them out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Man, that's helpful and faster.
Right. More efficient. All right, pro tip. Make sure before you take out the bolt, you take out the safety pin in the back of the cab.
Okay, so to keep the cab from flipping up, you're going to keep a one bolt kind of in place.
Correct.
So you can remove the safety pin.
Exactly.
Okay, cab is up and we have to keep the safety going here, right? So red pin.
Back in.
Back in.
Right now, we're setting ourselves up. Before we go inside the cab, start removing, one of the things I like to do is prepare it. I like to fill up the filters, and then I like to oil the gaskets. Just to always make sure that these gaskets are nice and oiled, because the next guy who's working on it, it's gonna make his job easier. So we have two different tools to remove the filters. This is sort of like a pipe wrench, and this is a filter removing tool. Both of these work perfectly fine. This one, you can find it on Amazon. So what we're gonna put is these diapers or piggies right underneath all the filters, so there's no oil that goes down. And if somebody's looking underneath the machine, sees a bunch of oil, they can say, hey, we got a hydraulic leak, or we have an oil leak, or something like that. So that's why we just like to keep everything nice and clean before we start working, removing filters.
All three filters, 1, 2, and 3, that kind of makes it easy, kind of. Looks tight in there.
Yeah, but if you have the right tool, it makes life a whole lot easier. We're gonna start out with the center one, with the center fuel filter.
Is it the bigger one or the smaller one?
The smaller one. It makes life a whole lot easier trying to remove your oil filter in the back.
Is there any rhyme or reason to fuel filter first, second? You know, if it's smaller or bigger, you know which one you do first?
It doesn't. It just it's just a lot easier access to remove that oil filter.
Cool.
Now we're going to work on the back filter, which that is the oil filter. It makes life a whole lot easier when you're trying to use your tool to remove it. We made like a little valley on the bottom, so when I take off this oil filter, and there is going to be oil coming out, it's not going to fall to the bottom and make a mess. As you can see, it's draining out. That's a whole lot nicer than being down on the frame, and then as time goes on, it's going to leak to the bottom pan and you're going to have a big spill. I mean, it's going to look like you have a leak. We want to prevent any of those issues, and when you do have a leak, you'll be able to find it a lot easier if it's clean. As you can see, we made a bit of a mess, but if you see right there down the center, it all got caught. You can see that oil right there. It all got cut.
Nice.
It's not on the belly pan. All right, now
from the piggy blanket.
correct. So give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to put this on the back of the truck, and I'll put on the new one on. All right. As you guys can see, if you guys remember, we took off the center fuel filter first. It makes it a whole lot easier to squeeze in this oil filter.
That's a good point. I like that. Instead of trying to juggle with the one in the way,
right,
let's make some space and work back to front.
Correct.
That's cool. It's a great tip. We like tips in these videos.
The piggy's caught all the oil.
Why do they call it a piggy?
You know what? I don't know. I think it's the first person to design it, but you know, it caught all the oil. The oil's not sitting on the belly pan. Makes it for a nicer, cleaner job.
Now in tightening these things, it's just kind of like a hand tight feeling, right? Once it's snug.
Yeah. Once you feel it,
like seat.
you sit, and that's it. That's it. You don't want to crank on it too much. That's all it is. Once you get it, once it stops by hand, all you got to do is a quarter turn, and that's it. We're gonna go to our fuel filter.
I'm ready.
All right, so we got our fuel filter. As you can tell, it's already full. We're gonna install it. There you go, hand tight. We use our trusty little tool.
It's nice because that belt tightener is soft, so as you're trying to get it to conform around the backside of, right, in tight areas, when you have a structured, you know, one that's like rigid, it's tough to slide it around, right?
Exactly, exactly. So now it makes it a whole lot easier. As I said, you can find these on Amazon. A lot of different companies make these. And it just makes life so much easier taking off filters.
Cool. Okay, time for the big filter.
As you can see, right here, it's getting tight. Yet, I still have the leverage to remove it.
And that thing's pretty tight from the factory, right? Maybe over tight.
It's a little over tight, but we're gonna break it loose.
There it goes.
At the shop, we only use clear fuel. In case you fill up a water truck, that water truck drives on the road, you're in violation of federal law by having red dye in it. We'll use our trusty tool, tighten it up. Just half a turn. That's all we need to do. Half a turn, or quarter turn, I should say. And that's it.
Nice. All three, 1, 2, 3, just like that.
Now that we close the cab, we're gonna put our safety pin in.
Okay.
Open this back up.
So, buddy, how many quarts, or how do you know how many quarts? If, let's say, you can't find the owner's manual.
So one of the things you'll do is, what you could do is you can pump it and check your dipstick. Keep checking it, and you want to stay in between these two lines, right? You want to be probably about 3/4 of it, and you'll be perfect. Once it starts running and gets hot, all the oil we couldn't pull out, it's gonna fill it up to the top. So you just want to fill it up 3/4. Right here. So I know how many quarts we're using. Pumping. As you can tell, we have a little bit of oil on it. As you can tell, right on the edge. We're gonna clean it, put it back in. We're gonna put another quart, and we're gonna see where we're at. We're at 6 already. See on our dipstick, we're still there, still going up. One more time, see where we're at. Look at that, we're at half. We're almost there to 3/4.
A little more to go.
A little bit more to go. We're gonna go half a quart. Check it. Boom, right there at 3/4. That's exactly where we want to have it at.
Look how close you were. Said 10. That's pretty close.
Close the back door, don't forget, push it in. Close. Close. Don't forget your tools. Don't forget your impact on the tracks. That's $200 mistake right there.
Just 2 cab bolts, right?
Right, 2 cab bolts. There's these right underneath here. There's the nuts, and they move around. So you want to make sure you get it in there. You hold it from the bottom, push it up, and you start your bolt before you start using any impact or anything like that. Because you might strip it, gall it, and then you're in a lot of trouble.
Good tip.
We're going to use our trusty electric impact ratchet, tighten it up. All right, we're good there. Do the other side. All right, this one only goes down to 60 pounds, but what we're going to use, trusty ratchet. You don't want to use an impact to tighten these up, because the next time you try to take it off, if somebody washed the inside of the cab, it's going to rust up and it's going to be real hard to remove it. And right there.
Another great tip.
Love it. So one of the things we want to do, since we just replaced the fuel filters, we want to turn on the unit. Not all the way on, just turn the key. You can hear the pump running, the fuel pump, and you want to fill up whatever those filters is left. If I didn't fill them all the way up, it prevents from running the unit dry and then having to prime up the system. So you do one, turn it off, turn it back on, give it a few seconds, you'll start hearing that pump again running, and once you're done, we'll start it up. All right, so here we got our settings. We got our hydraulic lock. Since we don't have our safety bar down, we have our hydraulic oil temperature. And then we have right here is our engine temperature, like the coolant and all that. We have our fuel level. Right here it's set in turtle mode for the time being. This is for our bucket. And then all our auxiliary right here, this is our auxiliary. That one is gonna do for the hydraulics, for any breakers, grapple buckets, augers, trencher, just any sort of attachment you have.
What are we looking for if there's a problem on here? Well, I mean, what's the biggest, is there something on this screen that's gonna jump out at you if we didn't do our job right just now?
Well, if we didn't prime up the system correctly, after let's say about 30 seconds, the unit would have shut off, would have said it was out of fuel. Yeah, we did a good job by making sure that we primed it. We turned on the key twice, make sure that those filters got filled with fuel, and we're good. Right here, you have your hours of operation, your date, your time. We're good. We're gonna put on our trusty seatbelt. We're gonna close down our safety bar. How to close a window? Hit this lever. Good to go.
we did it. The TL10 Takeuchi oil change kit, the 500-hour kit, is all done, all thanks to Buddy and his new shirt.
Thanks.
And I liked one of your tips that you started off things with. Buddy was a big proponent of prepping. So he prepped everything beforehand. He looked at the unit ahead of time, he went through it, and it ultimately made his oil change a lot faster, safer. That's Buddy. We're so lucky to have him. If you liked everything that you saw here today, give us a like, subscribe to this channel as we have more coming. All the manufacturers, all the units are coming up on this channel. And if you want to know where to get this kit from, go to shop.equipmentshare.com. All right, that's it. We'll see you on the next one. Buddy, great job.
Thanks a lot, man.
Enjoy. See ya.